My name is James Malarkey. Currently in North Wales doing a qualification to become a rope access technician, which hopefully is going to get me into a job with many career prospects. I'll be basically doing a lot of labour work at height. It becomes cheaper to use rope access on ropes as it would be to use equipment such as scaffolding or cranes or the like, where it becomes quite cost efficient in days, so it's quite easy for us to nip into a job, get the ropes on, small team, get in and out very quickly, so it becomes more efficient for the companies for us to work like this. I got set back a year when I was in school, so I had to redo a year when I was 12, which was pretty disastrous. When you're that age, you leave all your mates behind. And then to top that off, they sent me off to boarding school up in North Wales. It turned out to be great. I loved it. I was very lucky. It's the only way I can look at it. I went to a school which did help me to develop what I'm good at. The reason I went to this school was because I'm quite badly dyslexic, which is as big a reason as any is why I've gone down the line I have, because the idea of being in an office work just has never really inspired me to do the reading and writing side of things. My dad was a manager in a paint factory, so a European-sized sort of firm, so he was bombing off around Europe. My mother was an accountant, and she's helped out in schools. I am the black sheep in my family, totally. Well, one of my sisters is a teacher, and the other one is a manager, so they're quite all office-based. I've never been in an office. I was quite lucky with my parents being supportive with pretty much anything I've decided to do. I think they've been quite understanding of the fact, because I did have dyslexic problems, that it wasn't going to be an obvious answer what I was going to end up doing, so they kind of supported whichever angle I've taken. I'm a strong believer that if you want work, you can work. It just depends on how your lifestyle fits to that. So I've been through all sorts of work. I've lived in caravans and not got paid much. So I was paid £35 a week for a whole summer, or almost a year actually, to become an outdoors instructor. It's quite a sacrifice to make. I never had any ambitions to buy fast cars my budget was never very high, so it seemed quite easy for me to be quite flexible. Keeping my options open, to take on whatever work comes my way really. I'm used to hanging on ropes. It's something that I've done since I was about 13, dealing with ropes, dealing with heights, so you put two and two together. And instead of being a labourer on the ground, I get a labourer on the rope and get paid better. I love listening to music. Try and play guitar every now and again. Love going out to music. Reading. Did philosophy when I was in school, when I was at A-level, and it seems to be something that stuck with me my whole life, just kept an interest. More so just opening the door into other things to think about, really. I'm quite certain that in some point, I'm hoping around my 30s, that I'm going to settle down into a job, a career as it were, maybe start my own business. It doesn't really bother me that I've jumped around a lot, and I've probably got a dozen different things I could be doing. Not all of them as well paid as the others. They all have their pluses and bonuses, but when push comes to shove, I can do something, and that in itself is quite comforting, I think.